Somebody might win it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now?
Can McCaffrey do it again? It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to lead out the Saints. Last year, of course, another big one for number 9. Set the all-time passing yards mark, moving past Peyton Manning. Finished second in the MVP balloting and led the Saints to within a whisker of their first Super Bowl berth since 2010. Being chased out left. Oh, he's going to take a shot. This is caught at the 20. A huge play there right off the bat. 51 yards.
Clearly, every time the Saints put together a game plan, they plan to get Michael Thomas involved early and often. 125 catches in 2018, the most in the NFL. Not bad for a kid in Pop Warner football that only played the minimum number of plays every game.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now Brees on the bootleg. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Kamara trying to run for it, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. They'll be led out by their now 30-year-old quarterback, Cam Newton, MVP of the league back in 2015.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get, that first wild card and the #5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the #1 seed, right? Being the top team. #2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Linebacker Demario Davis made the move from the New York Jets to the New Orleans Saints before the 2018 season, and that move really paid off for him. Always a terrific player. Now he was able to get to the playoffs for the first time in his NFL career.
Ready? 56. Check 56. Man, I got you. Great.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Panther first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this. So Carolina keeps the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a 3rd and very long. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now the Auburn alum, Artis Payne. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. And that's complete to McCaffrey. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tap.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 52 yards. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Ready? 5-9. Check. Walk 54. Who that?
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels. We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's 21-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Well, we get a look at Torrey Smith as he comes back out onto the field. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and 1,000 yards.
It seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. And that's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much, unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And Thomas has it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Newton delivers this one to McCaffrey. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. To the air again, Newton. Complete. Smith has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the red zone now, Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The final shot before half for Breeze. He's going to throw one up for the, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front in the second quarter. Chris Godwin, a touchdown reception. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. LaShawn McCoy, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff. All year they've talked about getting a high seed, clinching home field. Now that talk changes to, hey, we're in. That's all that matters. Let's go on the road and take care of business.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Newton, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A.J. Klein racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think, with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Michael Pilardi now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a carry for Allen. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Rashard Matthews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. 13 games going on here this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. Now Newton on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Newton gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Gun.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Newton. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Demario Davis able to put an end to that play, and in so doing puts an end to this 3rd quarter. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. But the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Yellow waiting. Mike 54. Let's go, tackle, let's go.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 47 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Trying to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.